welcome bij Atelier Mariekuniek Podcast. A podcast all about the fiber arts and a little about glass. My name is Marieke and this is podcast number 5. If you are a return viewer, thanks for coming back. If you are new to my podcast, thank you so much for checking me out and I hope you enjoy your stay. Let me start with telling you where to find me online. This is at Ravelry as Mariekuniek. There also is a podcast group which is Atelier Mariekuniek. And you can find me on Instagram as Atelier Mariekuniek. And if you would like to send me an email, you can do so at mariekuniek@gmail.com. I will put links to show notes, and I hope to make show notes this time because I totally forgot for last episode, so I hope to make those soon. But below in the box you will find some links to my Ravelry Instagram and my blog, where you can find sooner or later the show notes. I have 2 finished objects to show. The first thing of the needles is my bright sweater, and here it is. It's finished, and I already blocked it and I already did wear it. It's a bit it's beautiful weather outside this today, so it's a bit too warm to wear it while podcasting, so that's why I am showing you like this. I have worn it already a couple of times and I totally love the sweater. It's so cozy and it's got a little bit of a bite, but not too much. But I really enjoy the design and I really enjoy the yarn and the look of it all. So here it is. Definitely a keeper. My other finished object is a zonnezetel scarf, which is this one, with a lovely pompon. And it's not blocked yet, so I have to do that, so it's not really showing the true beauty. Well, here we go. I used Rico, what is it called? Rico Essential Super Kit Mohair and Silk in a lovely, very soft green, light green. And the other yarn in between is my one of the skeins I dyed myself, which is merino and a merino and nylon blend. I really loved the way this turned out, and I really enjoyed wearing it, although I haven't blocked it yet. So those were my finished objects. So the next thing I want to talk about are my works in progress. I did not knitted on my bay leaf brioche shawl, so I'm not going to show that one. I did knit on my socks, although not much because I wanted to finish the shawl. This one are the socks I am knitting for myself. The yarn I am using for this one is the Shoppen Sauberball Crazy Shopper wool. Yeah. Shoppel yarn. It's the Grüne Woche colorway. And here's the ball. It's a lovely soft yarn. I would have preferred, I am knitting with a very bright way at the moment, and I think I would prefer that to be on the leg part, but hey, that wasn't the case. So I'm using the Mercury sock pattern, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, and I really like the way it turned out. I, however, returned to my DPNs because I was knitting this one on the 9.5 inch circular needles, but it was way with the stitch pattern, it hurted my hand, so I decided to move on. When I started the heel part, I decided to go to my trusty DPNs again. That's one of the my favorite ways to knit is with DPNs, so I preferred it above this one. So that's my sock. As you can see, the last time I showed this I was about here, I think, and now I did the heel and I'm moving on to the foot part. I also have been knitting on the socks for the friend of one of my nieces, for Ernst, and those socks are also knitted with a Sauteuse Crazy, only this is the Meilenstein colorway, and these turn out really lovely, I must say. As you can see, let me show you this way. It's a beautiful transition from the colors. I haven't hit a repeat yet, which really I'm looking forward to see how much more transitions there are on this before the starting point arises again. I use the Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I saw him this week because it was the birthday of my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, so he tried them on and they fitted perfectly. So I'm going on steady and hope to have them ready soon. So those were my socks. Then I have my sweater, my colorwork sweater. I'm still working on that one. Last time I told you I had a bit of a wide neck part and I needed to decrease some more. So as you can see, it's starting to look a lot like it should. I used the leaf part of the pattern of the Longing for Gotland socks, as I told before I would do that, and I did, and I decreased just below here and in this part, and it worked wonderful. So now I can go on with the basic pattern again to decrease some more and start with the neckline, and then this one will be finished as well. So hopefully next time I will be able to show you as a finished object. This is housing in my large bag I made using this fabric I woven myself with a bit of linen and a bit of cotton and at the top. So that's housed there. And I started a new project, which is housed in this lovely bag I showed before. And this is the Marine Scarf by Isolda, which I am knitting for my daughter in Dreams in Color yarn, the Smoothie Cashmere, the Smoothie by Dreams of Color, and it's the herbal colorway. This is the cake. It's a lovely combination of greens and pinks. And this is where I am at this moment. So as you can see, I have finished the point and I finished one scallop. And to show you how it's going, it's wedge shaped with short rows. So I finished this part and this part, so I'm getting ready to knit this part. I'm only knitting on it when she's not at home, and so hopefully that will be a surprise then. She doesn't watch this podcast as far as I know, so if she does, then it's no longer a surprise, but hopefully she doesn't. So, those are my works in progress. Yes. I didn't buy any yarn. However, I wanted to knit myself a cardigan, a long one. And I wanted to spin it myself for this time. And so I went to a shop in Haarlem, which is Meerveld. It is an online shop, but they have an actual shop in Haarlem, which is only open on Fridays from 9 to 4 in the afternoon, which normally are the times I am at work at school. So it's been a long time since my last visit, but I had a day off because of compensation, so I went there to see what they had in store and bought myself a kilo of this Scottish blend. It's a brownish grey, 30 micron, which I think they sell it for felting, but I want to use it for spinning. And I did already do some spinning, and here is the result. I think it turned out lovely. Do you see? Last time I had this mood board around there, and I was constantly showing stuff this way. So I thought I move the mood board to my left so I can show you stuff this way. And now I'm constantly showing you stuff this way. So I'm a bit crazy. I think I should consider showing it this way. Anyway, let's move on with my homespun. So as you can see, I think it's well balanced. I think it's woolen spun, and maybe it's worsted or DK. I'm not sure, because I don't have a control card to measure it. But I think it's well balanced. It turned out quite nice, I think. And I already I already bought a a bit up to knit a swatch. And I think it will be a lovely warm cardigan once I have spun enough to start knitting. I really like the result. This is with a 3.5 millimeter needle, and as you can see it's a nice dense but still very drapey fabric in my opinion. I also spun from my the fleece I bought last year at the farmer in my hometown. It's from a milk sheep, and the yarn, the wool is also very lovely to spin. I did spin this from the raw fleece and wash the yarn after spinning. So this is the result. I also dyed some up with the exit dye I have with a green. I had a moss green, and I added here and there some blue, some aqua, and some speckles. So it's very variegated. I don't know if you see it, but that was exactly what I was planning. So I really enjoy the way it looked. I did use more dye than this yarn could soak in. So I added another skein afterwards, which resulted in this lovely blue aqua. So I'm thinking of maybe a little bit of color work in the cardigan. So I will be combining these colors, and maybe I will dye up some more even. I really think the results are lovely together. So that's what I have been spinning, and that's all there is yarn wise. I did, however, went last weekend there was a fabric market in Haarlem, which is only held twice a year, in spring and in autumn. And this weekend it was the spring version of the market. So I went there to buy me some fabrics because I would like to make some clothes again for myself. So let me show you what I've bought. I will start with some fabric. Most of the fabric I bought is a tricot. So for t-shirts and that such. And this lovely cute little fabric I am going to make into a t-shirt, because a t-shirt, some kind of t-shirt, I want to make PJs, because I didn't like what I see in the shop, so I thought why not try to make for myself. And so I bought this one just for the body part, and I bought this one for the arms and for the trousers. And I think it would make a wonderful set. So that's the first thing I bought. I think I had enough. I bought enough. Maybe I can even make a little t-shirt out of this one as well once I finished the PJs. So that's what I bought. And I also bought this lovely fabric. Look at this. I really this is the first thing I saw, and I really thought I want to have that because I so love the print. And I love the color combination. It's black with this really nice print in aqua. As you can see, it's like the color on my wall, and and this also goes with it. It's one of my most favorite colors, so I simply had to have this. And what I like to make with this is a tunic like the one I'm wearing. This is a store-bought one. As you can see, it's 3/4 sleeves, and it's, well, there's all kinds of stuff because it's black, so you see everything. But as you can see, it's very easygoing tunic, and I really love that. So I want to have more like this because I'm wearing it with leggings, and it's such an easy fit, and it's dreamy. So I thought I want to make more, and I want to make some myself. So here it is. This is what kind of fabric? Megan Blue Fabrics. Never heard of it before, but it's not very expensive and a lovely print, as I said. And the other thing I bought is this one. I think this is more for a winter because it's a bit thicker. And I am thinking maybe a dress, maybe trousers, like Sauteuse. I don't know if you know what it is, but it's like a very wide trousers with a lot of fabric in the middle, and it's easy fitting everyone. So I'm thinking about it. I loved, of course, the print of the knitting fabric. And it's got a very beautiful blue at the inside, so I can combine those two, which I think would make a lovely combination. So you can play a bit with the fabrics. So a lot of possibilities for this fabric. And the last thing I bought at the fabric market are these Japanese linen with a print. Look at this. I'm going to show you. It's linen. It's a blue, lovely mustard yellow with triangles of silver. And look here, there's a little foxy around there. It was a bit of a expensive fabric, so I only bought 35 centimeters. And I also bought this one. Look at this, polka dots with aqua. And look at the little doggies in. Aren't those cute? I think so. Anyway, I will combine this with this for a project bag, and we'll line them with another cotton fabric I have already in my stash. I totally love the way this purple goes with it. I think I have to make sure that comes back somewhere as well, even though it's only the side part. But hey, it's a project bag, so I can play a little. So that's what I bought. And I think that's about it for this week. I will go on spinning because I need a lot more yarn for my cardigan. And I will be thinking about how to incorporate those other colors into the design. I'm not sure if it will be color work or maybe only some rows of these colors well, I have to keep on thinking about what to do, but that's what I like most. One last thing, this last weekend we celebrated the birthdays of my father-in-law and my mother-in-law, and I gave her the shawl I knitted for her, and she was very, very happy to receive it. And that was such a delight to see how happy she was with my knitted present. So that's always a wonderful thing to see when someone is so happy with what you are making for them. The other thing, what made me happy was the reaction of Ernst, the boyfriend of my youngest niece. He was so delighted with the way the socks are turning out, so that also made me very happy to see. I learned my niece is also knitting again, so that's wonderful, because I think a lot of young people should be knitting. It's fun to work at school where I am working, because they teach the children also to knit, so there is, especially at this moment when the exams are busy, you see a lot of knitting going on in the hallways. One girl actually told me she was knitting like crazy, and said, "Oh, what are you knitting?" And she was knitting a sweater, but she said, "I'm very stressed." So this is stress knitting, but well, it was very positive, because a week later I saw her wearing the sweater she was knitting, so that's a great thing, I think, stress knitting, to have such results. Anyway, enough talk. I hope you liked this episode. If you like, so give it a thumbs up. If you want to come back, please subscribe and hit the notification button, and hope to see you next time. Bye!